So Caitlin Clark, is she really not as good as some people try to say she's not? Or are they just hating on her? Let's talk about it.
I love Brotha T.
How you doing? This is Terrion Wilson, aka your boy Brotha T, here with another one. So I like to thank you and welcome to the New Life Tree, where we like to give you little pine cones of wisdom for your motivation and mental health. If you don't know what that is, stick around, stay on the channel, you'll get it. Remember, I don't know everything, but I might know a lot of things. So today we're going to talk about Caitlin Clark. Is she really not as good like some of them try to say, or are they just hating on her? Man, well, let me start with my opinion. My opinion is she's one of the best female basketball players I've ever seen. Ever. And you talking to a man. When the Wnba first started, I was actually watching. I'm one of the few people. I used to watch the Houston Comets do their thing. Cheryl Swoops and Cynthia Cooper. I remember the Tina Thompson. That was my girl for a little while, so I was up on it, Lisa Leslie. I can name them, man. Lobo was in the league. Dawn Staley, who's the coach of South Carolina. She was a nice little guard back then. She could shoot the ball real good. So I'm not just talking from a place of ignorance. I actually used to watch the game. I've watched people over the years. Candace Parker was good. My girl Holtzclaw, I used to like her. Diana Taurasi, she's one of the purest, shooters I ever seen, as a woman. Cheryl Miller, I didn't just get to watch her live, but I saw tapes of her and I heard of, man, she was a beast too. But Caitlin Clark, I can't put her with them yet until I see her with the pros, right? But I can tell you, she looks like she's on a trajectory. That's a hard word to say off the cuff, right? But she looks like she's on that same path if she continues to do what she's been doing. And another thing I'll tell you is that she is probably the first, woman basketball player that I would actually pay money to go see. Shh, don't tell anybody. I would actually, if she came, Detroit, we don't have a team anymore. But if Caitlin Clark came to Detroit to play against whatever team, I might pay some money to see her because she's catching the ball. She's shooting wherever she lands. She's walking up, hitting 30-foot shots in people's faces. They know she's getting the ball. They putting two people on her. She hitting the shots over two people. She can dribble. She can get to the lane. She passes real good. Come on, man. Come on. That's basketball. I'm ready to see that, baby. So are the old timers hating on her? There's a few. Diana Taurasi said, hey, things about to change when you get to the pros. Are you still going to be able to handle it?
Look, SVP, reality is coming.
Okay.
There's levels to this thing, and that's just life. We all went through it.
Of course.
And you see it on the NBA side, and you're going to see it on this side, where, you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time. Not saying that it's not going to translate, because when you're great at what you do, you're just going to get better. But there is going to be a transition period where you're going to have to give yourself some grace as a rookie.
And not only Diana Taurasi, but my girl Cheryl Swoops, she had some things to say which were very interesting and maybe not all the way accurate. Let's see what Cheryl Swoops had to say.
If you're going to break a record, this isn't just for Caitlin, but you asked me about Caitlin. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that player set it.
Okay.
Right? So if Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, well, Caitlin should have broke that record in 4 years. But because there's a COVID year, and then there's another year, you know what I mean? So she's already had an extra year. dang, like he or she's killing them. But you have a 25-year-old playing against a 20-year-old. Like, you should be killing them. Because you've been doing it a lot longer than they have. When she comes to the league, regardless of what team she goes to that has vets on that team, she probably ain't gonna get 40 shots a game.
Now, Cheryl Swoops, you're one of the GOATs, or like the boxer Clarissa Shields would say, GWOATs. You know? So I'm gonna say this with respect, that you were inaccurate. What were you inaccurate about? Well, technically, she did break the record in less games than Plum. It's a fact. She did it in less games. Another thing that was inaccurate, she's not 25, she's 22. Another thing that's inaccurate, she doesn't take 40 shots a game. She takes around a little less than 20. So we got to be accurate if we're going to have that type of assessment. Once again, not trashing on my girl Swoops. I remember her from back in the days. That was my homegirl. So I'm not finna go too hard on her. She's in the Basketball Hall of Fame. So I'm not. So we only gonna go so far with that. So is Caitlin Clark being, hated on, or is she really that good? Once again, I'll pay money to see if she is or not. That should tell you everything you need to know. And this is a golden chance for the WNBA, in my opinion, to embrace something that could actually help the brand grow. Now, some players are complaining about not having a bigger share of the revenue. They want a bigger revenue share. They want a bigger percentage of that. Of course, the NBA, make sure that the league keeps running, even though they don't get as much support as they want to get, and they can't pay the players more because of this, because of the business, and the people just are not supporting. Somebody like a Caitlin Clark, it makes people want to support more. It makes people want to come in. You might get an influx of cash. I think you should embrace her. Right now, she should become the face of the league. Not because she's better player necessarily than everybody else, because we don't know yet. But there's something following her right now that could really give your league a boost, especially monetarily. And if your league gets a boost monetarily, guess what happens, ladies? Now you can renegotiate those contracts, because we have bigger contracts. We're making more money because it's more supported, and we get a lot more TV deals, which means a lot more money floating around, and you can make more money. I'm one of those guys. I want y'all to get y'all money, but I want you to earn it too, right? I'll put a good product out there, do the whole Caitlin, do the whole Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese in the WNBA. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. It was a big deal 2 straight years in the tournament. So, hey, keep that momentum going, because Angel Reese I think she's going to end up being decent as well. Now, she's a little undersized for what the position she plays when she goes to the WNBA, but I think she's going to figure it out, I think she's going to figure it out, as well as Caitlin. She's going to figure it out. It's probably going to be a little rough because the athletes are different. You're playing against a different level of talent, of course, and they're going to have better perimeter defenders. They're going to be in your face. So those shots that you're hitting on people, you're going to have to hit a lot more of those shots on people. You're not going to get open a lot. So, but I think she's up to the task, and she seems to be a very good shooter. When I say very good, very good. She's almost 40% from 3-point land. To give you a perspective on how good that is, Steph Curry, who is considered the best 3-point shooter of all time, or the best shooter of all time, period, he's at about 42% lifetime 3 points. She's about 40. That gives you a perspective. I'm not saying she is the same player, but I'm saying that gives you a perspective on how good of a percentage that is. This is your man, Terrion Wilson. Shout out to Caitlin Clark. Keep doing your thing. Hey, come near me and I got some money in my hand and you about to play some ball, I might pay to watch it. I'm just saying, I'm just saying, no hate here. This is your man Terry. I'm Wilson. I'm gonna catch you on the next one, family. Bruce.